What's up, guys? Today we have a special SoloQ tier list with Jake. We also did a tier list on his channel. That's not based SoloQ based, but this one is purely based on SoloQ. And I don't think I need any introduction to Jake. I think everyone knows who we're talking to.
Do you play SoloQ a lot, Chris?
I might. I'm just a tiny bit here and there. Normally only 5 minutes stack, but you know, 1 hour a day I dedicate to playing alone on ladder.
That makes sense. Great.
All right, so I have 5 tier lists. We have the best carries for SoloQ. Then we have sometimes that can carry SoloQ games, but it's a bit harder. Then we have Pokemon that struggle, Pokemon that help to win games, but they don't carry in their own. And then ouch category, if you pick this Pokemon in SoloQ, you're not gonna have a good time. Pretty much straightforward. So do you want to also start with any like categories, or just want to go ahead?
I'll start with a god, and especially considering this Pokemon is godly right now, let's just throw Absol right up there in the 1v9 gods for this tier list. I think this Pokemon's crazy good. I think this Pokemon was in this tier before these buffs, and now it's just even better. I think Absol's nuts right now.
And I think it just can go anywhere, right? It goes top, it goes bot, it goes jungle, and it's going to carry your games. Like, there's nothing to it. If you want to play in SoloQ games, you play Absol. Maybe just pick a Pokemon as well, or like do whatever you want. You could get my opinion on it. I can tell you my SoloQ opinion.
You just want me to grab anything out here? All right, yes. Chris, where do you want to put Mr. Mime?
It's a struggle. I think you can carry Pokemon. I think it's a struggle.
It is a struggle. You're right. It is a struggle. It's weird because early it's a carry, right? But it is a struggle. I agree.
At some point in the game, it turns to a struggle. It's not ouch. No, it's not ouch. It can carry games is the thing, right? It can carry games. Like, okay, maybe I would say, like, I can carry games. Not everyone can carry games on Mr. Mime, but I think it can carry games for sure. If he had, like, a big Confusion Egg game, his Unite move is actually also got a buff a while ago. It can do a lot more CC in teamfights now, but it's still a struggle to carry games with it, for sure.
Oh, okay, so this is one I would love to hear from you. Yeah. Tell me about Delphox. Where do you put Delphox? Because it can't be a god.
So, like, I think in mid game it carries games, and then late game it struggles again. Early game it struggles, and then in mid game it can carry games. But I think in general, like, most mages are struggling right now.
What if, now I'm just throwing this out there, you place it wherever you want, but does this actually fall into helps to win games but doesn't carry, considering it kind of does help to win games but doesn't carry?
I think it does stay carry. I think it does carry games like Fire Spin. If you hit like good Fire Spin, good Unite move, you have good Unite move placements, and if you use a Unite move on cooldown every single team fight, right, you can carry games for sure, I would say.
Yeah, you're right.
It's actually, I get somewhere between here. Like, certain games are struggling. Like, if you play jungle, you carry games. Let's just put it that way. Yes. If you jungle, you carry games. If you play lane, it can be a struggle. Because if your lane partner's bad, you don't get experience, you don't even get Fire Spin early unlocked, and you just don't have a good time. So... But that's the problem with these as well, so I got between lane and jungle. But I think it can carry games for sure. Yeah, so I'm going to put in the carry games. Just because Fire Spin and Yamoof is so OP. All right.
I think Fire Spin is crazy, crazy good. Tell me, where do you put Hoopa as a solo player?
Right here.
Yeah.
So this is the category of like pretty much supports. Like, I'm not gonna explain this category now. It's just like if your team is as good as your opponents, these Pokemon will help you win more games. Like, if you pick these Pokemon, if your team is equally good as your opponents, you will win games straight up. But you never know. You never know how good your LAs are, right? So these Pokemon are absolutely insane, but they just don't carry games on their own. And that's, it's all about SoloQ. This is nothing with premates. This is not dual Q, triple Q. If you're going to match as 5 SoloQ players, how high is your chance of winning this game? With Hoopa, it's still very high, but if your teammates are just a tiny bit worse, you're going to lose. That's how I feel about it. What do you think, Jake?
Right. I think I know where you put this, but I want to hear where you put Zeraora. My thought is Zeraora goes into we carry games, but not into 1v9 gods.
No, I think it's even ouch.
Whoa! I mean, you can carry with it, but it is a bit of an ouch. But like, you can't deny that if you're good with a wild charge Zeraora, you can carry a bit.
Yeah, I think it's a struggle just because if you just fall a bit behind an early game, you just takes long to get your abilities and your Unite move, right? It just takes so long to get to it. And for laning phase, again, it's very bad, right? You need level 8 for your actually move to do damage, level 10 for Unite move. If you jungle, there's just better junglers out there that carry much harder. The enemy jungler's going to be level 9 at Dread. He's going to get Dread now. You can't get Dread now. And then game gets snowballed, right? I think it's a
Yeah,
struggle.
I'm totally with you on my tier list. I constantly put it near the bottom just because of what they've done with its leveling. All right, where do you put Espeon then?
Espeon is in SoloQ. I mean, it's quite ouch. It is quite ouch. It leads a team.
I think
like this Pokemon 1% needs a team. I think even Mr. Mime can carry games much harder because the setup is just easier, much easier. And Espeon is very difficult in SoloQ to play. I mean, I played a lot in SoloQ. I think stored power is like stored power turns into a struggle, but like it can carry games.
It's so crazy.
But maybe ouch is just a bit too offensive. Or like it had a very bad win rate as well in the last patch.
Yeah, it has a horrible win rate.
So,
I think the lowest in the entire game. And I wouldn't be opposed to Zera and Espeon being there. I get it. It makes total sense. Tell me where you want to put a Pokemon like Azumarill.
Azumarill, I think it's also a struggle. Like maybe the struggle sounds a bit too harsh. Like it's a struggle, but it can like work or something. Oh wait, this is completely messed up now. What just happened here? Oh, what happened here?
Explaining the word. So yeah, what these tiers do is they just keep getting longer and longer as you need to explain each moment. Like, it's a struggle, but it's not horrible. It's okay. Yeah,
let's say it can win games. Let's just say it can win games. Yeah. I don't know what happened to my tier. Do you know?
Who knows? That's why I usually just have a B tier.
That's why we have a B. I mean, you could just call it B tier. It could just be.
Still got the B tier. I can't believe it.
I think average is fine. I think average sounds good. It's just about average. Like you're not going to lose games by picking this, but you can stick. If you're good enough the Pokemon, you can carry games. But don't expect going into a game and just winning every game with this Pokemon, pretty much, right? Like there's games where, like all these, like especially Azumarill, if you have a bad laning phase, you're out of the game. You know, someone like Absol will never have a bad laning phase compared to this Pokemon. So.
All right.
Pretty much.
Hit me with Duraludon.
I think Duraludon carries games for sure. Dragapult, I don't think it's a 1v9 Pokemon necessarily, but it can potentially be that one Pokemon that, Dragapult jungle that just gets every objective, kills you a lot. So it for sure carries games though. I don't put it into God tier, but Dragapult jungle, Dragapult center area carries games. I don't think Flash Cannon, I think Flash Cannon I would put here, because it doesn't really carry games. If your team is good, it will carry games, but on your own, not alone. For sure not.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think is going on with Duraludon. Very good solo Pokemon. Both builds pretty good solo. Let's see, what do you do with Sylveon here?
We carry games for sure.
Ooh, I thought you might throw this one average. All right, hit me.
Really? Okay, no, I think Sylveon, if you want to carry games as a mage, is one of the best ones. Level 4 is very easy to get, and afterwards you do crazy amount of damage. You can get almost every last hit. And if you're experienced Hyper Voice Sylveon player, let's not talk about Mystical Fire. I think it's one of the best SoloQ carries.
I like that you enjoy Sword Power, but you don't like Mystical Fire.
Yeah, Sword Power actually feels like it does damage. But I think it's just because I don't like Sword Power, because Hyper Voice does so much more than Mystical Fire, I feel like, to like just win games straight up. So, no, it has such good laning phase after level 4. And it can bully other... there's so many people who play bad laners in SoloQ, right? So if you lane against those, you're just gonna completely destroy them. And this happens more often than you want to. There's a lot of Cinderace in lanes, a lot of Gibbets in lanes, and you just evolve so fast. Hyper Voice probably has the highest damage in the game, right? Out of any level 4 move. So
yeah, it's unbelievably insane. Let's talk about Garchomp. I saw you messing around with that little Gibble. What do you do with this Pokemon? You think it's an ouch? Yeah.
I think it's an ouch. Currently, sadly, it's an ouch. I know someone like Potato can make this Pokemon work and look absolutely insane on it, but I think that's a rare case, and you have like a weird playstyle for this Pokemon to win. It just has such easy counterplay. I just don't see it carrying games. It doesn't have last hitting for objectives either. So if you put it into jungle, right, you can't last hit objectives. It just doesn't. It can't get Dreadnought. And I think for SoloQ Pokemon to be good, you need to have last hitting on objectives, because that will win you more games. Straight up, right? If you're able to get Dreadnought, Zapdos.
Having some type of secure move is so incredibly important when you're playing alone, because you can't count on anyone to do anything.
Pretty much.
Let's talk about someone with a crazy secure move. How about Aegislash?
Yeah, I think he carries games for sure, right? I don't think he is... I mean, he could be, honestly, because he does everything like a SoloQ carry needs to do, right? He has last hitting, objective last hitting, crazy damage, crowd control. Like, he does pretty much everything. I actually might put him into here. Like, if you want to win SoloQ games, this Pokemon will win you SoloQ games. If you get confident on this Unite move, yeah. No, you can play him jungle lane anywhere, and you're going to take over games. in SoloQ for
I'm
sure.
totally with you. I think the big reason I like it in that top spot is because you do have moments where you can give yourself a shield and massive defenses, and that's pretty huge for a carry. If you just know how to move in and out of blade and shield form, you can outplay most people with that Pokemon.
Exactly.
Tell me about
About what? That's good.
Talonflame. Tell me about Talonflame.
Talonflame. So I mean, I played him earlier today, and I actually liked it. Like, I think he can still carry games quite easily. But it's because it's just another thing. Jungling is overpowered, and he's a jungler, and you can always carry games as a jungler, right? But he also has good Dreadnought last hitting. He has a very good early game. He has a Unite move with low cooldown, so you can fight over and over again, which is very good in SoloQ, because if you can Unite move over and over again, you can kill someone who's high level, and you can be high level yourself. That's pretty much how you see it as well. And yeah. No, I think
I'm with you. Big burst, nice secure. You can take down some squishy enemies like Decidueye. Where do you put a Decidueye?
I think also he carries games very good.
Yeah.
I think I want to put him into like, maybe I should also rank these like in a higher we carry games tier. So upper one. Just because Spirit Checker is like, it can always win games. It has such insane damage from so far away. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I agree.
Absolutely crazy.
It's not really a 1v9 god, but it's more of this Pokemon where you can clean up entire situations. You can just kind of walk near something and secure it. It's pretty amazing.
Just some things are too squishy. He just dies. So yeah, like he's still pretty squishy. Mamoswine, I can't put him into here because he's just not powerful enough for me to feel like putting into this category. I think for SoloQ he's an ouch. Like it's just a painful struggle. If you lane partners too passive as well, you never know who you lane with, right? But if you have like a Ninetales and you're like, oh, this Ninetales looks fine, I'm gonna pick Mamoswine to lane with the Ninetales, it's fine. But besides that, it's like, it needs a team, right? It sets up your team. But not as much as Hooper or like Blissey does, as an example, right? So I think it's...
let's talk about him. What do you think about Blissey?
I mean, Blissey's right next to Hooper on this as well. If your team is as good as your opponents, Blissey will just absolutely just be insane of a Pokemon. So, but again, you never know. You never know what you run into. So
yeah, that's the problem. Soloing, obviously, it's one of the best Pokemon in the game, hands down. But when you're playing alone, I mean, earlier my Greninja was attacking a Corphish during Zap. So
you can't even unite with him, yeah, right? You unite with him, and you just like, oh.
Well, I did. I really wanted to secure that Corphish, but after that, now we've united for nothing. What do you think about Slowbro?
Slowbro. I'm with Skite. I'm not sure actually right now. Like Skite doesn't seem too bad.
What I'm thinking. I wonder if you almost move this
towards this maybe.
Yeah, helps wins, or even average is kind of crazy, but it's kind of easy to output 70, 80k damage with it, which is weird. Yes. But I'm just curious where you wanted to put it. I think it's pretty. No, I
think it could probably be here and helps to win game. Like it doesn't. I mean, it does a lot of poke damage. It doesn't really kill anything on its own, right? Like in the end, it still will not kill anything. It will do a lot of damage, but will not finish anything off. So, but if you have a good team, if they full up your Unite move, it's great. For sure.
Yeah. Ooh, you're on Cinderace. Let's talk about Cinderace. What do you think?
I'm on Cinderace? Cinderace. No, I think Cinderace is still carry games, right? I don't think it's a god tier Pokemon. But the Unite move is great for last hitting as well again. It can snowball games if you have 1 or 2 level lead, you just auto-take everything to death. I just don't think it can... I mean, it can 1v9 carry, right? Like, it can be the god of SoloQ as well, but not quite. It just needs a bit more protection than others. So, compared to, like, Greninja, let's just do Greninja as well. I always do these together, who is just insane for SoloQ. He is one of the best SoloQ junglers. Nothing snowballs games, team fights as hard as he does. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Well, I guess we could talk about another Pokemon that does kind of sit in this realm, even though it's not the same style of Pokemon. And I'd love to hear you put Gengar up there.
Oh yeah, Gengar was for sure here. 100%. He is the best. Like, in my opinion, he's the best SoloQ carry. Doesn't matter if it's jungle. I even play my lane. Like, I play my lane in SoloQ because I know that I can carry games with it. So even if you fall a bit behind in lane, you can always Unite move, kill the enemy carry, and just get 2 levels of experience in mid-game. And then you stay, like, I always end up 13, 14, 15 on lane Gengar, so it doesn't matter what. If you get a gank, if your jungler ganks your lane, you can get stacks as well. I never go for stacks on this Pokemon, though. Like, I never go to the right side. I always just try to get my A-Poms for level 5. But as soon as you get to level 5, you can actually lane with this Pokemon as well. and people don't understand how much damage he does on level 5. So yeah, if you want to win games, Gengar, I would say go top lane with him, not bot lane probably, but it doesn't honestly matter. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. If you're a good Gengar player, you're going to carry games.
Where do you put
Next,
Blastoise?
Blastoise. Ooh, I think it's average now. I think it's average.
It feels right.
Like, you can carry games, you will win games with him, but
Pokemon, but yeah,
he did lose a lot of power. He did lose a lot of power, so, but he's still quite good. But yeah, not good enough, I would say, to convincingly say yeah, he's going to carry all the games in solo queue. But still pretty good.
Okay, here's one that I think is going to be pretty interesting. Gardevoir.
Gardevoir. Gardevoir. It's actually quite difficult to rank. Like, I mean, I think
it's average or carry, but it isn't carry. It's like a tough one to put into carry, right?
I think it's average. Yeah. I think it's average right now, just because it's difficult to play. Look at all these Pokemon on the top. That just,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, even if you have Moonblast, it will not really help you much as well. But yeah, it is quite difficult to play currently Gardevoir, and I do not have a good time playing it in solo queue.
How about Crustle?
Crustle, ooh. I think it's also average. It's because, like, I also look at my own win rates, even though they're always a bit weird, and just I can check, like, obviously which Pokemon have high win rates on, right? And I play a lot of Crustle, I always feel like I'm doing good, but then look at my win rate and it's just like, it's quite average. For like my average win rate, it's even less than average. So it wins games and you can absolutely outplay your opponents, but it doesn't really, like, I mean, average means they can still win games, right? That's what it means. Like, you're going through the game, but it's going to be harder than these other Pokemon. That's pretty much just it, right?
Totally. Yeah.
But they still win games.
Let's place Lucario. Where do you place Lucario? You think it's an ouch? Better than ouch?
I think it's we carry games, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, it's obviously it's the god tier Pokemon of this game since release, right? But in solo queue, of course, good Lucario players are going to be up here, but it still lacks certain things in certain parts of the game, I feel like. But I think it's for sure higher up tier here. But I think I'm still more confident on winning games on other Pokemon than Lucario. But you can play Power Punch, Close Combat, you can play Power Bot, Bone Rush, you can play Extreme Speed, Bone Rush. All of these are super good. But I think I'm hesitant to putting into the god category in solo queue. Even though, again, I'm just going to put it higher AT as well. Absolutely love playing them.
You'll see those players play E-Speed and they'll destroy everyone, but you really have to know how to play to make something like that.
And then he does one mistake in a late game team fight, which happens quite often. He misses like one Extreme Speed and suddenly,
I know.
He's blown out.
Yeah, hit me with Eldegoss.
Eldegoss. Ouch. I think even for this, it's not good enough right now. Like, yeah, no. It's just ouch. Eldegoss, I mean, actually, Eldegoss can get objectives and has good laning phase, but doesn't really carry games.
It used to be better, right? Leaf Tornado used to steal objectives a lot.
Yes, it lost so much damage, though.
It lost so much, I know. It used to actually be great for stealing objectives. But yeah, I kind of feel like putting it here is pretty reasonable considering there are other supports that you'd
Do you think it could be maybe here as well?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be somewhere here. But I'm going to put it into ouch for now.
All right, Pikachu. Pikachu.
I absolutely don't like playing Pikachu in solo queue, you have to say. I really don't.
It's so tough. They just jump at you.
Exactly. Like, he's a great Pokemon, but I'm so much more confident all these other Pokemon I can carry games on, except for Pikachu.
I know.
Like, he's like a damage support, right?
Yeah.
He's a damage support, similar to Espeon, but he still is more than Espeon, so would still put him above Espeon.
Okay.
I struggle with I struggle with Pikachu in solo queue, and if I struggle with Pikachu in solo queue, I don't know what everyone else does. And I mean, you could play Voltackle, but then again, for Voltackle, you still need someone to kill them off, right? So Gardevoir still can do so much more damage.
Do you do well in solo queue?
No, I don't. I just can't barely get to master at the end of the season. It's difficult. difficult.
Good. Let's do Ninetales.
Ninetales, I think carries game is much higher than Pikachu does.
I agree.
But still not. I think it does anything on its own. I mean, honestly, like, so this is going to be a weird take. I think Blizzard Avalanche can carry games harder in solo queue than Veil and Gleam. So, like, for Veil and Gleam, I would put it here. And for Blizzard Avalanche, just because it's able to just one-shot someone out of nowhere, like, it's super good. You just stay in a bush. People face shake in solo queue all the time, right? They walk into you. You do Blizzard Avalanche Unite, and they're instantly dead. Like, you can delete 2 or 3 people at the same time. And but it's quite difficult to play. I'm just gonna put it into higher average. I still prefer 9 hits in SoloQ over Pikachu. That's for sure, but maybe this is too harsh on Pikachu, I don't know. Is it too harsh on Pikachu? I think it's lower average.
Well,
Let's just put low. I think it might be a bit harsh.
I think it is a little harsh, but here's the thing. I feel the same way when I'm playing
You do?
Pikachu, where I just go, man, near the end of the game,
Yeah.
someone just jumps at me. If I happen to miss my Thunderbolt or something like that, all of a sudden it's like, well, I didn't get the stun. Here they come. Now I have to unite to live or something. I don't know. It's tough. It's still
The
a
funny
really
part
good
is,
Pokemon.
no, I think I'm gonna give you a reason why I put it here. I hate playing against Pikachu. Because I play all these Pokemon up here, and when the enemies have a Voltaic Pikachu, he actually kind of denies me. So like if the enemy have a lot of carries that like jump as well and you play Voltaic, you can actually carry games as well. And you can lock them down. So like absolutely, when I have to lane against Pikachu and I'm like up soon, I was like, oh, he's gonna play Voltaic. I see Electro Ball level 4 hitting, I'm like, he's gonna go Voltaic. I hate it. Yep. I hate it here. So I think that's the reason for it to make put it higher. So
it's weird to have a move that stuns your enemy, that not only stuns them, holds them in place, and is a sure hit. It's a very interesting move.
It's so long as well.
Let's do Charizard.
Yeah, he carries games for sure, right? Of course, as a jungler, but he has good damage. The only problem he has no last hitting on objectives, and his Unite move can get full healed or unstoppable, right? If you're not careful enough. But as soon as you get it out, even after the nerfs, he just throws over teams quite hard. Yeah. So I still like him a lot. I think he's still quite good.
I agree. Let's do Cramorant. Cram.
Honestly, I think he can actually carry games pretty hard right now. I like him. Yeah. I like him for SoloQ. Dive Air Slash can do a lot on his own. This was a Pokemon I just completely misjudged as well. I thought he was bad until I saw Toon playing this Pokemon. I'm like, wow, this Pokemon actually does a lot of damage. And so I was not a believer in the Cramorant for quite a while. But I also admit my mistakes. I think I made a video about it already that I say I'm wrong on this Pokemon. He is very strong. And I think he's very good in SoloQ too.
Yeah. I remember seeing a video. I think it was before Toon played it in this tournament. There was a video of this Japanese player. It might have been the player on Secret Ship playing Cram and just watching the way he sort of broke everybody's ankles. This was right after sort of the buff to dive that actually looked like a nerf. It was right after that, and I went, "Oh wow! Actually, this Pokemon kind of carries like crazy if you're good with it." Cool. Let's see Wigglytuff.
Wigglytuff.
I think this is probably a 1v9 god.
Yeah, 1v9 god. For sure. No, it's ouch. It's ouch. Yeah. It is ouch. Like, I don't know if even it helps. I mean, I guess it does help to win games. If you're a good Wigglytuff player. No, I think if you're a good Wigglytuff player, you for sure. It's like the pink category. I think he's just pink.
It is just the pink category. It's just Pokemon that are pink that are annoying to deal with, and if you have one good ally, you're set. That's kind of what this category.
So I would say it's similar to like Mamoswine, this Pokemon, right? Like similar to Mamoswine, but Wigglytuff's core control is easier to hit. Let's put it that way. And also has the better Uniting for late game, and has way better. I think it even still has better landing phase than Mamoswine as well. Pound has good last hitting. Sing on level 4 is very strong. But like I tried, there was a day where I tried to record I didn't try to record like our players on stream, right? I tried to make a Wigglytuff video and I had to play like 8 games in a row to just be like, wow, this game felt like I can talk about, because it felt so difficult to get a good Wigglytuff game in SoloQ done. It felt very rough.
It could be really hard.
So it really depends on your team. I can't play this Pokemon because like I'm higher rated, and that's kind of an issue as well. Like my team is always a bit lower rated than my opponents, so I can't play these Pokemon in SoloQ. It's actually quite difficult. Yeah. And
that's a weird thing that they do. The higher your rating goes, the more you have to play a carry, because if you don't, you're getting paired with a 1400 player with only 300 games who's playing your Greninja, and it just doesn't work out super well. Speaking of a situation that can't work out super well, how about a Snorlax?
Yeah, ouch. I would not recommend playing Snorlax in SoloQ. I would just not. No. I think I would rather still play. If you want to play a tank that does nothing, then probably Wigglytuff. But it feels very bad to play in SoloQ. It's just, he does no damage. He has good early game last hitting, and maybe they're like, oh, but Flay, Chris. Flay can carry games. I don't know. I don't want to see Flay Snorlax on my team. I'm just going to say that.
So when I see a Flail on Yawn Snorlax, I think, okay, so it's already a 4v5. We're already in trouble here. Zarina. Tell me about Zarina.
So how I feel about Serena is, like in jungle I would put a tier about lane here because sometimes they can have hard laning phase. But I think this Pokemon is insane. I don't know. But the problem is, like, the funny part is that's my only negative win rate Pokemon. Fun part.
Whoa.
This is the only Pokemon I have negative win rate on. It's the cursed Pokemon for me. Like, it's ridiculous the games I lose on this Pokemon. But
maybe it's something about what happens late game here. It's weird though. Throughout most of the game, I feel like it's just so easy to clean up with Serena, and then you just get that one nice Unite move later in the game. You can win.
Yeah.
For me, it feels like it's up in the gods category, but I also understand it's a Pokemon that I sometimes struggle winning with, and I honestly don't know why. I think
same, right? I agree. It's just like one mistake is where you die pretty fast. But I think it's high AV carry games category. Like, you can pick this Pokemon to win games. If you're good at it, you can win a lot of games. But it can also be a struggle sometimes. Especially if you're laning phase. Like, getting to level 6 can sometimes be difficult. Can sometimes be pretty difficult. Especially if you're laning against, I don't know, 9 hits Mamoswine or something. You're not gonna have a good time.
How about, where do you put Greedent on this list?
Greedent? Oh, Greedent is difficult.
It's so weird to rank on this list.
Like, a good Greedent is gonna... Yeah, right? It's actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
But...
Because it almost... You can carry with Greedent, but then at the same time, you're kind of not carrying with Greedent.
This is kind of like a different kind of carrying, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of different kind of things. He's just trying to be annoying. But then again, he's annoying, but if your team still doesn't do anything with it, then what's the point? That's how I feel about it as well, right? But a good green player is going to be absolutely menace. But in general, it's if your team doesn't do anything out of you being annoying, then... But no, I mean, you can get Zapdoses as well, you can get Dreadnoughts. But I think he's the... If you want to win SoloQ games, I would still not recommend necessarily playing him. But I mean, average doesn't mean these are bad Pokemon, right? This means that they win... I mean, they win like games 50% of the time. Let's put it that way. But if you're good, it can be higher. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah. Your Gengar is my Greedent. When I just get frustrated playing games, I go, all right, I'm going to play a few Greedent games. I'm just going to have some fun
that's
here.
fair.
All right, let's put Dragonite up there.
Yeah.
Straight up. So this is obviously the Outrage build, but where do you put Hyper?
This is Outrage, yeah. Outrage, Hyper Beam is like... I mean, if your team doesn't damage Dreadnought, then you can't last hit it, right? So it's kind of pointless.
True.
But no, for sure, one of the best junglers for SoloQ right now. You can, if you play a good Dragonite, you know your Hyper Beam damage on objectives. You get every objective, and that's it. And you're gonna win games.
Yep.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy.
And you kill everything on your own. You can Dread on your own. You can Rotom on your own. Zapdos on your own with Muscle Band as well. Like, yeah. There's 3 left, Jake. 3 left. There's also Crashy left.
Ooh. Okay, well, Crashy, for me, Crashy helps to win games, but he doesn't carry. That's where I put Crashy, is he helps to win, but he doesn't carry.
Okay.
Let's do Machamp. Why not? I know where he goes.
Also, yeah, you know, right? SoloQ. He is one of the best SoloQ Pokemon. Wins team fights on his own. Wins laning phase on his own. And again, he takes out the most important person on the enemy team. If the enemies have like level 15 Greninja, you dynamic punch, eject button onto him, Unite move him, and he's dead. And then you're like, oh, yeah, now we can fight. So that's how I win my games with this Pokemon. I always like target the enemy jungler, the enemy best player with this Pokemon, and it always works.
Great.
Always works.
Let's do Venusaur. I'm curious where you put this. Really? You think it's the god?
Yeah, Petidance, Giga Drain, Venusaur. I don't think Solar Beam would be up here somewhere. But Petidance, Giga Drain just take carry SoloQ. It's like one of the best SoloQ Pokemon ever made, right? Like since pretty much the one time they buffed this build. It's like you go into SoloQ, can you play this, and you have a high chance of winning, because you can also play jungle as well if you want to. Or it's totally fine. And yeah, it takes over games. Like,
do you remember when they buffed this? My
God, yeah, it was
what an insane buff this Pokemon
ridiculous.
got. It's weird. Our list would be very, very similar. I would probably personally have Zarina and and Venusaur swapped, but I can't.
Okay, that's fair.
Are unbelievable. Where do you put Tree? Where do you put our spooky Tree, our last Pokemon?
I actually think he carries games. As weird as it sounds, he just takes over laning phase, and I think he just carries games. Like, I love playing him in SoloQ. I think he's a great SoloQ Pokemon. Has good laning phase, good team fighting, very annoying. Only problem is, like, a lot of Pokemon these tier also don't have good last hitting on objectives, but yeah, still.
Yeah, that's
Trevenant
one of the big
I love Trevenant.
is trying to last hit is so important in solo queue. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. Just it matters so much because you can't rely on your teammate. You will literally watch your teammate not last it. They'll walk away from the
Yes.
objective. I don't even know. I don't know what the plan is, but yes, you need last hitting in this. Beautiful tier list, Chris.
Anything else you are you questioning, or are you just happy with this?
I kind of think Crashy's lower, yeah.
I can't take him on anymore. It doesn't work.
Oh no. I think this all makes total sense to me. Maybe you could argue that some of the defenders could be a little higher, but they are really tough to play solo.
Yes.
And I think Espeon is a Pokemon I really like, but also really tough to play solo. It's just so hard to win with that Pokemon. But yeah,
I think these these two Pokemon could also easily be in here. Like they have to win games, but they don't carry, but they for sure have to win games. But yeah, it's maybe Mamoswine's like maybe a bit too harsh on Mamoswine. But
it's not pink in color, so I feel like it does need to stay at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Espeon is.
But that's true.
That's how I would probably make the tier list.
I think
so if you want to win solo queue games, we take these. And then again, if you're good at these Pokemon, this stick does do as well, but it can be very difficult, very, very difficult. All right. That's it. Thank you, Jake, for joining me on this tier list as well. You can check out our normal tier list on his channel as well if you want to. This one, again, pure for solo queue. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye.